Hello, hello, hello. I am Silverhypnosis, and this is the next State of the Channel video. It is currently May 12th, 2017, and I just felt like I needed to give an update on what I've been doing since I feel like it's been a while since my last one. First and foremost, forgive me for not posting as much. I've sort of had a glut of lack of inspiration, but I've also not been on the schedule I was on before. Before I was on a schedule and sort of tried to put out a certain amount per week and sort of go from there. But I've been off that schedule, and so because I've been off that schedule, the pace of my content has slowed. But I'm gonna get back on that schedule hopefully, and get back to producing things, which is the hope. I guess not first of all, but let me once again thank all my Patreon supporters who helped me out a great deal. Thank you to everyone who buys my content, also helps out a great deal. Really thank you to all the subscribers, and really thanks for all the messages and ideas I get. I love all the feedback. I love all the comments I get. I try to read all of them. Sometimes it takes me a while to get through them all, because I have a relatively strict word filter, and so a lot of them end up in the word filter thing, or the spam filter on my page, and I have to go through them, and I sometimes forget, so forgive me if I'm a little slow reading them all. I do try to read them all, though. Let's see, other things that are going on right now. This one's probably going to be a little shorter, because there's not as much to update as there was last time. But that's okay. One thing that's, I guess, I'm currently looking through is I've got a number of requests or a lot of emails and messages from people who are like, I'd like to see other content by you. I'd like to see other things by you. I'd like to see you doing other kinds of things. And honestly, I have no idea. Like, I'm interested that people are interested, but I have no concept of what or how I would do any of that, I guess. One thing that's been suggested is to give sort of, like, do readings or something. Like, that was one thing that somebody suggested, was that I read things, because they like listening to my voice. And I suppose I could do that, but I wouldn't want to do that on this channel, because this is a hypnosis channel, and I want to keep it that way. On the other hand, maintaining multiple channels seems like a bad idea, because you split your viewer base. I mean, I suppose what I could do is, like, create a sub-channel or create a second channel and just link the two together. Something like that. I still have no idea what I would end up reading, though, because most things that you end up reading are copyrighted, and you can't just read things. Like, I couldn't just pick up War and Peace and put you all to sleep by reading War and Peace, because all of that is copyright. So I would get sued if I did that. Like, you can't do things like that. People say, okay, well, how about, you do something like read fan fiction, and I'm like, well, that sounds terrifying. Sounds a little terrifying to me. Also, I don't know why anyone would listen to that. I got one idea that somebody sent me where they said I should just, like, look through WikiHow and read things off of there because of how absurd it is. And I certainly considered ideas like that. But again, I have no idea what I would do or how often I would do it. They're certainly easier to do. I can say that. They're certainly easier to produce than hypnosis files, because hypnosis files take a great deal of work. But I like doing it, so it's not really work. But yeah, people have been asking me, they've been like, well, do you do other things? Are you going to do other things? What kinds of other things do you want to do? Do you want to have a second channel just to upload all kinds of stuff there? And I've considered doing that. I've considered just having, like, a second channel where I just sort of upload all kinds of stuff that I wouldn't put on this channel. So, I don't know it probably would not update very often, and it probably wouldn't have a lot of different things. It probably wouldn't have, like, a one thing like this channel. It would probably, if I did something like that, it would be, oh, I feel like doing this today, and just uploading it there. if I ended up doing that. I really don't have like any idea, but I've gotten requests for it, so I felt the need to at least address it, because when I start getting numerous requests from different people about different things, I feel the need to like at least talk about it so people understand that I am reading stuff, even if I don't always respond, for one reason or another. Um, yeah, so that's just something I've been looking into, and people have been messaging me about it, and I might just do it. I've one thing that I've gotten a number of comments about is that I spend too much time thinking about stuff and not enough time doing the stuff that I think about. Like I get into my own head and then I sort of talk myself out of doing things that would otherwise cost me nothing, because it doesn't cost me anything to just do things. Like it wouldn't cost me anything to create a second channel and just do things, but on part of me worries that I would take away from this channel or that I would split my efforts or what have you. But you know what? I'll think about it. I'm certainly leaning towards doing it, if only because it seems like people might enjoy it. Um, just to throw things out there. Um, because yeah, I really sometimes I just worry that like I'm too specialized, or I'm too focused on one thing, or um, I'm too like restricted, I guess is the way to put it. Like I'm too trapped. Like I'm too like boxed in, I guess would be the way to put it. Um, so I want to try and avoid that. I've always been trying to sort of uh, put myself out there and try new things. That's kind of why I like this channel. Um, but again, the fact that people have been messaging me, and the fact that people have been um, sort of throwing things at me, the fact that people have been, like sort of giving me ideas and sort of saying, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Um, part of me goes, okay, well, if that's the case, maybe I should do that. On the other hand, most people who do that on YouTube end up not doing that for very long, because it turns into, you can't split your attention. Um, but I also don't want to upload everything. Like if I was going to do that, I wouldn't want to upload it to this channel. I wouldn't want to do that, because I feel like I would split all of my. Like I feel like that's never a good idea. But I don't know. Neither ideas has it. Both ideas have their drawbacks. So yeah, I've rambled about that, because that's kind of like the main thing I've been talking about with people. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm sort of split on stuff. In terms of the stuff for this channel, since I've talked about theoretical stuff on other channels that I don't have yet, at least not at the time of this, time recording this. Um, in terms of this channel, one of the things I need to start doing is I need to get back on the schedule. I talked about that at the beginning, but I really do want to get back on the schedule where I'm producing content either every other day or like every third day or something like that. I want to get back to that. I want to get back to producing content more regularly. One of my big worries, though, is that I won't produce, like, I'll run out of ideas. Like, that's the big worry, is I don't want to just redo the same ideas over and over again, and I don't feel like a very creative person often enough, so I often struggle with coming up with new ideas that aren't just rehashes of stuff I've already done. I don't want to do that. So you end up with that kind of, that problem, I guess. So, it's a struggle. It's a struggle, but, it's kind of sort of also why I look for other people's ideas, because when other people say, hey, I like this, it goes, oh yeah, I never would have thought of that, and I go with it. Because the stuff that I expect to be good almost never is good. Stuff that I never expect anyone to like, that's the stuff everyone likes. So I should just assume that if I go, this will never be popular, that's the stuff that people are going to like. I should just assume that now. Because I've proven to myself that I'm very poor judging what people want. That's also why I like getting so much feedback. So yeah, I don't want to overwhelm anything. I don't want to like oversaturate what I'm doing, but I also want to get back on a schedule. So I'm gonna try and produce more content. I don't know what I'm gonna produce yet. I have a couple ideas of what I need to get back into doing, but don't really have much of an idea. We're going to see where that takes me. We're just going to see where it goes. So yeah, that's really it. That's really it for now. So again, thank you all my Patreon supporters. I can't do it without you. Thank you for all the people who subscribe and like my videos and do all of that. Thank you to everyone who gets my paid content, who shares my files. Really thank you if you're just listening to this. Honestly, makes it possible. I know I complain a lot in these videos that I'm always struggling for money because, it's what happens when you start a business and you try and do this solely as your livelihood. But that's not on you guys. That's on me. So thank you for your support. Thank you for everyone who's helped me out. Thank you for everyone who's given me ideas and feedback and left comments. Just thank you to everyone. Again, hopefully to get back on the schedule pretty soon. We're going to try and get right back on the horse and get back to producing content more regularly. So see